and welcome to Le10 News, your roundup of the week's news from across Hinckley and Bosworth, here on Hinckley Times Online, Hinckley Info, Best of Hinckley and Citizen's Eye. I'm Mathew Hulbert, here in the Kona Blue in Leicester's Highcross shopping centre. Coming up this week, advice for people who use syringes. There's an increase in complaints about wasps' nests and improvements to local parks. But first, cracking down on planning breaches and making it easier for people to have their say on planning applications is a priority for the Borough Council's executive. The council has set aside £55,000 out of a £500,000 performance grant to pay for improvements to planning enforcement and public access. The grant was awarded by the government earlier this year as a reward for the performance of the council's planning service. The move to invest more resources in planning enforcement follows changes to the law, which have meant it's not always necessary to seek planning approval for certain small alterations. However, the authority says a minority of people are still not complying with planning conditions. A new enforcement support officer will now follow up complaints and take action against those who are acting outside of the regulations. Next this week, people who use syringes and needles are being urged to dispose of them responsibly by the Borough Council. It's after a recent incident which saw used syringes and needles were thrown away in a plastics recycling sack in a load collected from the Hinckley, Burbage, Barwell and Earl Shilton area. The council operates a special service to dispose of them, details of which are available on request. Now, a story with a bit of a sting in the tail this week. There's been a 30% increase in complaints about wasp nests in Hinckley and Bosworth Borough this summer. Pest control officers at the Borough Council have had to treat 201 nests since the beginning of April, compared with 127 nests for the same period last year. The increase has been partly blamed by some on household nests going untreated last year as people cut back their spending during the recession. Anyone with a wasp's nest that they want treating should call the council's pest control service on Hinckley 238 141. And improvements have been made to a large number of parks here in Hinckley and Bosworth. It's thanks to funding from the Borough Council and a £200,000 grant from the Big Lottery Children's Play Fund. The money's been used to provide new multi-use games areas at Wykin Park and Langdale Park in Hinckley, and play areas in Sheepy Magna, Woodland Avenue in Burbage and Hall Fields in Earl Shilton. Some of the funding's also been used to pay for play and youth workers to help run schemes at various parks within the borough during the last 2 years. Other work has included BMX and skate facilities, seating areas and the planting of trees and shrubs. Don't forget, you can catch me on Hilltop Radio, the borough's own community radio station, every Monday and Friday from midday till 2. Listen via www.hilltop-radio.com. And just a quick mention for Barwell Carnival, which takes place this Saturday, August the 21st. It's going to be a day action-packed, so do get along to Barwell. And Le10 News is back next week.